Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. Looking to throw on second down. Wentz going for the deep ball. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his fourth touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the... Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. This is caught inside the 15. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle, and even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now a carry for Sanders, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing his Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the shift. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Kill. No.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He takes us from the 30 to the 34.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. And here we go. Watch the pass. Rush it.
Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 5. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Dorsett on the return. $12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught by Nick Valor. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike. Hold. Hey, check, line 21, check the left.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And this one's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Will Parks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They go play action with Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Will Parks. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Let him do 4 picks in the first half.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
I'm playing stupid as fuck, though.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the run. This side, baby. That's baby side. Check 4. He's checking.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Switch. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Whip. Go. Watch the whip. Check 43. Check.
On first down, Sanders. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Tackle made by Rasheem Green.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set, hut. Pittsburgh. I got you, sir. Jack. Bang. 49. Check it out.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Here we go. Waiting. He can't hang. He's not. The other side, solid. Check. Lion. Fresno. Check.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here we go.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack. Wentz. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. I think this is a free play for Wilson. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Complete to Dorsett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here we go. Hey, check Mike 21.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Switch. Safe.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson flushed out right. He's going to take off with it, finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check 99.
Here's Wilson, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Check.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Buying time to his left. He's got Lockett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check 31. You go tight. You got tight. right there. Good dad. Hey. Hey, check.
Now Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Check right 21. Watch the curve.
On second down, Michelle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Listen.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Sunday. Get the Mike in the face.
From the 29, Wentz. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Wentz now on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Dorsett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Again, it's Penny. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Wilson. Dorsett's got it.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And they will run it with Michel. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Michel going to try again. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll try to run it in. Michel, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Sony Michel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
58. Mike, 58, right there. Here we go.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Philadelphia, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
I'ma tell you I'm a misconception.